Well, hello guys. Uh, we were recording earlier and something happened, and I'm going to record this all over. So hopefully I can delete the first one and we'll just start all over. It's okay. Welcome to Robin Speaks TV. I'm so excited to be here today to share with you on discovering your purpose. I'm flying solo today. Last month, I had a wonderful group. And we talked about being authentically you, and it's recorded here. Hopefully, you can check out the recording. But it was a great opportunity. So we'll have guests coming up in the next month. But today I thought I would just talk to you a little bit about discovering your passion and your purpose, which comes out of the Girl Get Yourself Together book. Now, this broadcast today is not just for ladies, men. Discovering your purpose knows no sexes. So it could be a woman, a man, or anything that should really listen to today's recording. But it comes out of that book. So we're going to be referring to chapter 8 a lot during this broadcast. But I do want to share with you what it says in the beginning. So I'll read a little bit to you just so you'll kind of know where we're coming from. And it talks about how do you discover your real purpose in life. Because I'm not talking about your job or your daily responsibilities or even your long-term goals. I mean, the real reason why you're here at all, the very reason why you exist. Perhaps you're that person who doesn't believe you have a purpose and that life has no meaning at all. It doesn't matter to you, and it doesn't matter really that you don't believe it because not believing that you have a purpose won't prevent you from discovering it. Just like a lack of belief in gravity won't prevent you from tripping. All that a lack of belief will do is make it take longer to discover. And that was me. I didn't necessarily know anything about discovering your purpose or your passion or anything like that growing up. I kind of stumbled into what I'm doing today, and like many of you, that could possibly happen to you, but you can really speed up the process if you just know simple steps and things that you can do if you force focus and purposely go after finding out what your passion and your purpose is. And that's the purpose of having broadcasts like this and different people to teach you about discovering your purpose. What I found is most people who talk about discovering your purpose, they'll get you to a place where you understand that it's important to discover your purpose and your passion, but they don't get you to a place where you're actually able to discover it. I mean, information is good, but I like action. Don't just tell me it's a good idea to do something and then leave me. Tell me it's a good idea to do something and then show me how to do it and then make sure that I execute it. That's success to me. Sharing with you good news isn't success to me, or sounding good or making good points isn't success to me. When you send me emails and messages and I talk to you, I meet with you in our sessions, and you've been able to implement and you've been able to do some of the things that I share with you, that's success to me. So I really want at the end of this broadcast for you to have action items, for you to have simple steps that's needed for you to discover your purpose and passion and not have it take 20 years like it did for me just to stumble across it. But let me kind of summarize how I even got here to this place in my life. I grew up in Washington, D.C., and Washington, D.C. is an interesting place because people typically do basically the same thing here. We're a federal government area, and so growing up, it was always my expectation that I would wind up in the federal government some kind of way. I mean, so that's what I prepared for. I've always been a business student. I was a business student in high school. I went to college. I majored in business. Interestingly enough, I majored in business marketing. God always knew what He was doing with my life, even though I didn't know it. And because again, things will happen whether or not you believe they'll happen or not. Your purpose and your vision and your purpose and your passion is being revealed to you. And so when I got home from college, I did. I worked in the federal government. But I was thinking, even when I first started working at 14 years old, everybody worked here at the Summer Youth Employment Program, and most people got placed into federal government jobs. Well, I just so happened to get placed into a nonprofit organization because I was already a part of a dance company. I used to be a dancer, and I was a part of a dance company called DC Youth Ensemble, led by Carol Foster, who's one of my Facebook friends. So maybe she'll check out this video. Really, she really changed my life and opened my eyes to so many things. I owe just about everything, as far as I'm concerned, to her, aside from God Himself. But she was able to get the members of her ensemble to actually get paid to work in the arts, to dance and to help others and entertain others. So right from the beginning, God was revealing to me a passion. But I went to work in the federal government, and I worked there for 11 years. And I really didn't enjoy it as much, but I was driven by wanting to excel. My mom was a very hard worker. She worked in the government, and she always gave us what we needed. We always took care of our basic needs. I mean, we never had lights cut off or water cut off or anything like that. My mom was a hard worker. She had excellent work ethics. And so I adapted that. And I had excellent work ethics, and I had developed this passion to always be the best, or just always to be the on top. And so, anywhere I was, if I was at one position and there was another position higher than me, then I was going to go after that position. So that became my driving force for years in my life, to always reach and excel, get to the top level. And I did an excellent job in the federal government before I leave matriculating that system. But even then, I just wasn't really happy with doing the secretarial work and things like that. So I created my own job there, and I started a help desk center where people can come as a training center, and we could come in and teach them some of the applications and things that were coming out then that people didn't know how to use. I wanted to equip them to be able to make their job better. And so even then, not knowing that that was my purpose and my passion, I focused and designed an entire job around helping other people excel. And so came to a point where they were doing a reduction in force in the federal government, that I ended up having to make a decision about leaving that job. And again, without knowing that I was working a process, I started thinking about, well, what are some of the things that I've always wanted to do that I've never done? And one of those things was to become a real estate agent. For years, I wanted to be a real estate agent. I just kept ordering the catalog and never registered for the class. And it's been the story of my life, delayed destinations, I always say. But I ended up becoming a real estate agent. And again, because I was driven by being the best or being on top, there's another level that was even higher than being a real estate agent here in Maryland, which is a broker. I wanted to own my own company. So lo and behold, 2 years later, I started Visions Realty International here in Maryland, and we grew hugely. I had 4 offices, over 150 agents. Was one of the largest and most successful independently owned, women owned companies in the state of Maryland. Hugely successful. But the interesting thing about it was that, becoming the best had slowly stopped being my mantra. And I had developed mission statements and marketing material. You should see it, never talking about how good we were as realtors, never talking about we were better or the best, but I built that entire company on this one premise, that we were going to help people who never thought they can own a home. We were going to help them own a home. I was going to show them that it didn't matter that they were in the projects or if they were on welfare. I was going to show them how to use that welfare check, and they were going to get themselves a home. I was going to show them how to build their credit back up. I don't care if everybody else didn't have good credit. You were going to have good credit. I don't care if nobody else had $10 in the bank. You were going to have a 3% down payment in the bank, and I was going to show you how. I had built my entire company on the premise that we were going to turn your dreams into realty. I think it was turn your vision into realty. We were going to turn that dream and put those people in homes, and we did that. And so people joined our company because of that mantra. People used our company because of that, not because we were the best or not because we had the biggest name in the area, but because we were very passionate about what it is that we wanted to do, which was to help people. And again, not even knowing that that's the thing that drove me, but that's what it was. It showed up. So I mean, we were hugely successful, and everything was wonderful. And we had great friends, big house and cars and just all of that. And then in 2008, the real estate market crashed. And I tell you, I really am just starting to share what that did to me as a person. And I'm going to be sharing more of that. Um, I know within the next 12 months. But let me just say this: not only did we go from earning uh, mid six figures to earning nothing. I mean, it wasn't even a gradual drop. It was one day you were on top, and the next day every loan was pulled back. And houses weren't selling and people were being put out on the street. I mean, it totally devastated the real estate market and the realtors. I know realtors and loan officers now who are just still pulling themselves up out of what happened to them. Have been in real estate for 15 years. It wasn't a fly by night thing for me. We had built our entire family's income on real estate, so it was devastating to say the least. Um, and emotionally I slipped into just this huge depression that most people don't know that I experienced. I'm not one to wear my feelings on my sleeve. I've always been a strong person. My mom's a strong person, and so you probably wouldn't have known it, but I tell you, the way that I felt, the people around me were changing, friendships and relationships that had started changing. You realize things weren't as real as you thought they were, and you realize that you had lived this fantasy life or this inauthentic life based on who you were and the position that you had and the money that you had. And when those things that were removed from you, you realized things weren't quite the way that you thought they were. So in that, I didn't worry so much or focus so much on how I was going to get a job. I mean, I should have, because God knows we couldn't take care of our bills without money. But I was just so determined. I had to get out of this funk, this thing. You know, I teach this and I have a coaching program called the Entrepreneur Push. I'm sorry, the Entrepreneurial Push, which is passion, which is profit using simple habits. And one of the things I teach in that boot camp is if you created money before, don't fret, you can create it again. So I always knew it was in me to be able to rebound financially, but I couldn't even focus on that because I was so downtrodden about what had happened. And so I began to really look on the inside of me and figure out who am I? What makes me happy? What can I do? What gets me going? What gives me energy? Because if I didn't find that thing, I was going to die. I wasn't going to survive this. And so not even thinking about a job or making money, I began to meditate every day, which I still do. And I sat in my quiet place and I would see me at my best. I would see me looking my best and having my best and just doing the things that make me happy. I would see that on the inside. And slowly but surely, it began to show itself on the outside. And I knew then that I was destined and I was purposed to help other people excel. That's what drives me. That's my passion. I want to see you excel. I want to see you get the things that you want to get out of life. It's what makes me happy. And that's what I love to do. I want to spend all my time teaching you how to build your businesses, showing you that you can do it, showing you that, hey, whatever it is that you want, it doesn't matter if somebody else says you can have it or if they agree with it or if they agree with you chasing your dreams or things like that. It doesn't matter what anyone thinks. It only matters that you find that thing that you're happy at, the thing that makes you the thing that gets you going in the morning, that you be able to do that and to do it if you want and earn a profit at doing it, or do it and be able to have your career and also chase your dream. But whatever the case may be, my objective was for you to land that dream, to actually be able to live your life in the thing that you was purpose and you were passionate about doing. And that's how I got here. I started Success Builders Network because I wanted to make a difference. I started the Girls Getaway Foundation because I wanted to make a difference. I even started Success Builders Seminars, which is also a part of our company, which helps people who do have traditional jobs, federal government, and corporate jobs, showing them how to get on top of their game even at their jobs. And so I so enjoy what I do. I would do it for no money at all, but thank God I don't have to do that. Because you're working in your passion truly can bring you profits. But that's what I mean. Give yourself permission to actually pursue your passion. That's the first thing. Make it okay. Separate yourself from people's opinion. They're not going to agree with what you're doing. The funny thing about it is they don't agree with what you're doing anyway. I have found that whether you're on top or at the bottom, whether you are doing well or not doing anything at all, people are always going to find something to say. People are always going to have their opinion. People are always going to find something to put you down about. So if you're going to do it anyway, then I'd rather you do it while I'm pursuing my passion. I'd rather you do it while I'm happy. I'd rather you do it while I'm enjoying my life. People only put you down because that's how they feel about themselves. When people aren't allowed to do the things that they were created to do, they are the most unhappy. And people who are the most unhappy tend to want everybody else to be unhappy around them. So you must first give yourself permission to be passionate. Divorce yourself from the opinions of others and say, listen, I'm going to find out what it is I'm passionate about. And how do you do that? The next step is to explore yourself. Allow yourself to explore. That's where the meditation came in for me. To be able to just sit back, because sometimes it's not just a matter of saying, well, what is it that I like to do? Because for me, I could have gone back and looked at everything that I have been doing all of my life since I was a child and saw that I was driven by helping other people. But that's not how it happened for me. I had to learn the art of meditation, or whatever you want to call it. I have an exercise that I'm going to let you do that I do for my coaching clients. So if you're not driving, just close your eyes and breathe in and breathe out. Just relax. Just chill out. Just relax and see yourself at the most peaceful place. For me, for some odd reason, it's always on the water. You know, blue waters and white sand is what I always say. And see yourself looking your best, feeling your best. See what's going on in your life, who's around you, you know, what's happening in your world, what are you doing for a living, just what's going on with you. And let that person start walking toward closer to you. So much so that you see them showing up on the inside, on the outside. That person that you see and that feeling that you have, that's your best person. And that's what this exercise is designed to bring out, the best you. That person that you saw when you meditated, that thing that they were doing, that way that they looked or where they were, that's your best you. That best you can accomplish anything. That best you can accomplish anything when you're walking in that. Because if you constantly meditate on that, and I do it every morning, your day is usually filled with trying to walk in that person, trying to recreate that great feeling that you had on the inside. You spend your day trying to recreate that on the outside, and you'll begin to discover things that made you happy. I mean, for instance, for me, I never even really spent a lot of time on beaches or the water, but it's a happy place for me. It's a place where I love. I seem to love wanting to be out on the beach in the morning. That seems to have made me feel good, even to the point where that's where we're looking to relocate, a place near the water, somewhere I can duplicate that feeling for myself. That's why our girl getaways, and we'll talk about that later, are always held on beaches and destination locations, because it's a very happy and tranquil and peaceful place for me. That's my best me. So allow yourself to explore your best you. What makes you happy, not what you've been doing, because sometimes what you've been doing isn't the thing that really makes you happy, or not don't worry about is your best place or the place that makes you feel the best if it can make you money. We're not talking about money right now. We're talking about purpose and passion right now. We're not talking about paying your bills. We're not even concerned about that. I don't know about you, but paying bills is not in my happy place. So when I closed my eyes and I saw myself in this tranquil place, bills weren't there. The need for money wasn't there. It was just so relaxing, and I seemed so happy, and I looked good. And when I meditate on those type of things, I found different passion. I have a passion now for healthy living and long life, and eating right became a very strong desire of mine, because I would visit this happy place and that's where I was. And so that's just next step in discovering your passion. Allow yourself to explore. Try meditating and explore and see if you can figure out what's that best you. And then you can look at what you're already doing, because if you were like me, I have always helped other people. It has always been more important to me to help other people than even it was for myself. If I had really taken the time, or someone had led me in a certain exercise or given me a scientific method like this, a long time ago I would have known that that was what I was passionate about, and that would have been what would have been driving me for the past 40 years. But at 44, I discovered these things at 39 and 40 years old. And I'm hoping that, it won't take you that long. If you're already my age and you have children, you can begin to instill in your children things now, so that they won't have to wait until they're older. My kids are driven by their passions. now. They think nothing of doing anything else but that thing that makes them happy. And we talk about how to turn those passions into profit. We strategically align what they want to do with what they need to do to take care of their needs. We don't go to the left or the right. We don't have a plan B. We only have a plan A. And that's for them to live out their purpose and their passion. All right. Then the next thing is ask yourself some powerful questions. And I'm actually going to read these because I think people need to have a why to what you do. You need to understand why you do what you do, and you know what does it mean to you? How much are you willing to work for it? These are powerful questions that you need to ask yourself because look, I have a dream, or I thought I had a dream of being an attorney, and I wanted to go to law school. And every time I look at it, it's something I've always said I want to do. When I ask myself these powerful questions, I'm not willing to do what it takes. I'm not. What it takes doesn't make me happy. And it's okay. So you have to be able to look at certain things and say, look, let me ask myself some powerful questions about the things that I'm already doing to see if in fact those are things that I need to, continue to do. And so you want to look at what you're already doing and then ask yourself these powerful questions. And some of them are, what would you do if you didn't get paid to do it? If you didn't need money, what would you do? And normally that's the single question that most people tell you to ask yourself. And I think that it's a very vital question. If you didn't need money, what would you do? What would your life look like if you didn't need money? Or let's say, because that may be too far fetched. For me, it's too far fetched for me to believe that I don't need money. So I'm going to say, what if you had unlimited access to money and money wasn't an issue for you? Whatever you needed, you can just simply go withdraw it into your bottomless black card that you don't have to pay back. And what would you do? What would your life look like? Would you still work on that job? Because there's some people that would still work on that job. I would still be doing this right now if I had all the money in the world, and I would still be charging for it too. I wouldn't do it for free simply because I didn't need money, because money is a mindset, and people need to learn to invest in themselves. It's part of what makes you successful. It's part of what makes you viable. And so yeah, I would still charge for it. But nonetheless, I would still do the things that I do because my desire is to make people better. Another question is, what gifts do I have that I would like to make available to the world? And see, that to me was awesome because there's something about you that somebody needs. There's something about you that can really be a blessing to someone else. Any gift. What would you do? What gift would you share if you could just share it without regard to any money? What is incredibly easy to me. And see, some people, because I'm a hard worker, and I'll tell you all the time, I like hard work, but you still have to work at things that are easy to you. This comes easy to me, but I have to work hard at figuring out ways to get the information to you. I have to work hard at thinking of things like having Robin Speaks TV to be able to share some of these things with you, with people who I can't reach any other way. So what comes easy to you? What would I do if I got paid just to exist? What would you do? These are great questions. So you want to develop some thought-provoking questions. And the first of them all is, what would you do if you had unlimited access to money? And that's probably one of your strong passions and something that I encourage you to pursue. To begin to pursue it. And then understanding this, you may, after you ask yourself those questions, you may come up with something that nobody else has ever done. It could just sound so crazy and out of this world. I have a friend that I met with. I'm not going to put her on blast. I love her, but she knows who she is. She relocated to Las Vegas, and her dream was so unheard of and so unreal that when I thought about it and I listened to it, I said, man, this got to be her passion, because not only is she going to go after this thing, she's going to have to create it, create a model. She has nothing to follow, nothing to emulate. I thought it was so awesome. You might have to create it. It could be something that you just don't see in the world, but you're passionate about it. You want to see it happen. Somebody had to have started everything that happened. Why not you? So you may have to create it, but be willing to create it. Don't just say, oh, I want to do this, and then look around and say, but this hasn't been done to me. You don't even have anything like this. Like, where do I start? No. If it's your passion and your purpose, you got to be willing to go out and create it and make things happen for yourself. All right. And then another thing is, like, test it. And that's what I did. A lot of times you say this is your passion. If you need some proof, test it. You think this is what you were cut out to do, test it out and see if in fact it really is something that you were cut out to do in the world. Don't be afraid to test it. Me, I go out, and if I say I want to start this business, I learned everything I needed to learn about the business. That's how I tested it. I went to school for it. I learned about it. I read books about it. I went to seminars about it. I mean, I have my library is extensive with information to make me better. And you know what? Through that, I realized how much it held my attention. I hated reading growing up. I just couldn't stand reading. Now I read 2 and 3 and 4 books at a time because it's something that's very passionate to me that I want to do, and it's stuck with me and it's held my attention and it's caused me to, stay in books and do things I never thought I would do. So that's what I mean by test it. Go ahead and see if you really want to do it. Don't be so quick to jump out there. Go ahead and test the waters and see if you're really passionate about it and how much you're really willing to give up for it. And here's the last thing I want to tell you about that, because this is what usually stops most people, and it is the pursuit of money. I said to look for fulfillment and happiness and not riches. And I'm not saying to jump out here and quit your job, because I definitely don't believe in that, and go after your dreams. I'm saying don't chase money, chase happiness and fulfillment. And the only way I can ever really prove to you that pursuing your passion will always lead to profits is that you would actually have to test it for yourself. And the fact that I know that I'm not special to that degree. I do think I'm very special, but not to that degree. Not special, I mean, by I didn't have any advantages or a rich father or nothing. Nobody was helping me. I did it all at the sweat of my brow because I was determined to live out my passion. I was determined to fulfill my purpose here on earth. And if it works for me, it'll work for you. But you have to be, resilient. I'm resilient. It doesn't matter if I fail. I failed before and it did nothing happen. I've already failed and I've been able to rebound. I've already had riches and then lost and now got them again. So the fear of failure is not an issue for me. So now I seek after happiness and fulfillment. I would give up everything to remain happy and to do what I was purposed and destined to do. But you have to get there. But I truly believe that if you seek after being happy and fulfilled and not after riches, not only will you be able to accomplish it, but you'll be able to do it with more of a clear mind. I mean, I know people who quit their jobs. They didn't hate their jobs or anything. They just quit their jobs and said, I'm going to start my own business. And you're thinking, who told you that? Because if you were seriously going after fulfillment and happiness, you probably would have found a way to be able to have an exit strategy that would have allowed you to stay where you were, develop this passion, and then move into it, because you weren't after money. You didn't chase after the dream of what you thought, people were making a lot of money. I'm going to jump out and do this. No, jump out and the only thing you should jump out at is your opportunity to be happy, to be a fulfillionaire rather than a millionaire, to fulfill your dreams. So when you're talking about discovering your passion, you're going to have to figure out what it is. Make it a purpose. Make it a passion to figure out what your purpose and your passion is. Some people don't have time for it. Some people think, they have other things to do, like pay their bills or, clean their house. These are do the laundry. I guess these are fun things to do on a Saturday. But I think you should take spare time every day to really meditate on where your life is and what it is that you really want to do. Or if you're already happy in your life and living and experiencing your dreams and your passion, to really meditate on how you can grow that, and how can you share that with more people. Like myself, I'm living my dream. I am, and I'm fulfilling my purpose. So my meditation is I need to make this more. I want more people to be able to benefit from the things that I've benefited from. I want more people to be able to experience happiness and to be able to inspire more people to have an amazing life. And so my meditations are always on expanding my territory and how do I grow and what's the next place, what's the next phase for me. And so there's always room to grow and to discovering your purpose. And I believe personally that my purpose and my assignment on this earth is way too large to believe that God revealed it all to me at one time. So I'm always looking for the next piece of the puzzle, the next thing I'm supposed to do, the next impact that I'm supposed to make on the earth. And so when you're talking about discovering your purpose and your passion, it's not just something that you should kind of do on the side. It's something that you should make a commitment to doing every day of your life. That should be where you want to be. That should be what you want to do. That should be something that just drives you every day. It's a place of happiness for me. I am 100% committed to my own happiness, and it is my desire, my purpose, and my passion to motivate you and inspire you to having that same commitment, to be committed to your purpose and to your passion, and to believe that anything you want to do, you can do. You can accomplish anything that you decide you're going to work hard to accomplish. You can do it, but you're going to have to start and believe and have a passion for it so that you'll be able to remain faithful when times get tough, or remain faithful when times look a little challenging. It's going to take that belief that you know that you can have anything that you want to have. So I'm excited and I'm glad that you joined me. And I really do hope that you take this one action step for me and begin to do it every day for the next 30 days. And that is to wake up every morning or whenever your peaceful time is. Mine is in the morning. Um, and meditate. Take that deep breath and see yourself in that happy place. And what would you be doing? What would you be wearing? Would you be out playing golf or riding your bike, or I don't know, at the beach, whatever? And then see your family, see what's going on in your life, and just see this happy place and that feeling of peace and how happy you are. And then see that person coming closer and closer to you until that person on the inside side starts showing up on the outside. And watch how it changes your day. Watch. You may not want to tell everybody you're doing it because they may think you're spooky or whatever, but in your private time, watch how it changes how you act every day. Watch how it changes what you put on in the morning and what you eat and all of that, because everything that you're going to do now is going to be reflective of that person that you want to show up on the outside because they feel so good on the inside. So I'm excited about you. All right, just a few little commercials I want to give you. One, if you haven't purchased the book for yourself or for your wife, make sure that you purchase Girl Get Yourself Together. You can go to www.robynspeaks.com and get that. It's a great book. I'm creating a coaching package called the Girl Get Yourself Together coaching package. It's DVDs and it's online, so keep your eyes out for that. It's going to be a great coaching package. I'm very, very excited and proud of that. As well, my book, 52 Life Lessons for Leaders. I love this book. It's a weekly reader, so you read one life lesson per week, and it also has a journal. I believe in journaling so much. I believe the things that you commit to writing are more likely to come to pass in your life than things that you just randomly think about. So I love journals. I'm actually creating a journal for Girl Get Yourself Together as well. So you can look for that also on robynSPEAKS.com, and you go to I believe it says the store, and you can purchase these books there. As well, ladies, if you have not registered for the 2012 Girls Getaway, you have to register. We close registration August 31st, and I hate to close it, but it's our first getaway. We're having them every year, and I'm determined that this getaway is going to be impactful. And impactful for me doesn't mean a lot of women. We have about 100 women registered now. It doesn't mean I have to have thousands. I could have had 10, but I want everything as excellent and as amazing as possible for those women who register. So keeping registration open kind of makes it difficult for me to know who's coming, how many people are coming, and maybe next year we'll keep it open a little longer. But for this first year, I'm determined that it's going to be the greatest getaway of all time. And so we're going to be at the Atlantis November 2nd through the 4th, and that's on Paradise Island, Bahamas. The Atlantis is an awesome and amazing place. The environment is so full of energy, which is why I chose to have it there, and I love it. Of course, it's on the beach. It's my happy, peaceful place, and so I'm just excited, and I want you to register. You are worth the investment. The price of the conference itself is usually it's about cheaper than it normally is to even get a room there. It's $4.99, and it includes the conference material, and it includes your stay at the Atlantis Resort. Right now, the next 3 days, you can make your payments into 3 installments, but after September, after July and August, you'll have to pay in 2 installments or pay in full. But after August 31st, registration will be closed. So you want to join us. We have ladies come out. I think we have 9 states represented so far. It's awesome. It's just amazing. So I'm very, very excited about that. I think that's all for now, but just take your time to go check out the website, robynspeaks.com, and just look around. I have all kinds of things. We're going to be updating the event that we have planned. I do have a group coaching program that's starting in September that I'm very excited about. For those of you all who are entrepreneurs or small business owners or aspiring to be entrepreneurs, it's called the Entrepreneurial Push. And PUSH stands for Profit Using Simple Habits. And that's a program that I started to show how I was able to leave my job and actually move into entrepreneurship. So many people ask how they can leave their jobs and still pay their bills. Um, as an entrepreneur. And so this training class or this boot camp, this coaching class is going to show you step by step how to use simple habits, 5 simple habits that will be able to allow you to move from full-time work into your passion or your position. What I have found is that most people will talk to you and they'll tell you what they did, but you need steps in order to walk your way out of or walk your way into situations. So these 5 habits that we're going to talk about in Entrepreneurial Push Coaching Boot Camp is what you're going to need to be able to move into your positions full time. And I tell you, anybody who attends these group coaching sessions are going to walk into their happy place. They're going to start their businesses. They're going to experience their dreams because these steps are scientifically proven to work. I've seen them work time and time again, and they're 5 simple, basic um, steps. So I'm excited about the Entrepreneurial Push Boot Camp coaching uh, sessions that start in September. So we're going to be updating the events page over the next couple of days. So again, I want to thank you guys for joining me, and we will see you again next month in August. I'm going to have 3 special guests here, and it's going to be exciting. I haven't decided what the topic is going to be yet, but I know it's going to be something phenomenal. So just look for the advertisement of Robin Speaks TV. Thanks again, guys. Have a great day.